poo-poo is pee-pee time. But not every pee-pee is poo-poo time. Huh? You ever think about that one, Mr. Batman? Huh?
I'm sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. Really appreciate it. Jerry's been on my back all day. Come on, Come on, dude, I'm literally in my camera. Say, Jerry, you're sneaking like that, I'm telling you. He's got cameras all over his words. Jerry, no, I probably shouldn't have taken all that pre-workout today. No, I don't even work out. Is that all you got? You holding out on me? Jerry, you never tell me.
If cheetahs are known to be the fastest animal in the animal kingdom, then why are we measuring our cars in horse?
Is it a skull? Is it a skull?
I drive around on my butt like a car. Picture Mario Kart, no cart. And the gas, that's farts. If I could stand up, then I found a place to park. It's the opposite of Pixar's Cars. Acting like a car with the body of a person. As opposed to vice versa. I'm like a Merc, you're a Nissan Versa. Yeah, my behind is my vehicle. Like a lady, I sit down when I need to go. Like fully tinted shades and I keep it low. The eyes are the window to the Kia Soul. If I'm winking, that's my blinker. If I'm blinking, that's my caution. It's how I let you know that's where the fog is. It's less a steering wheel and more a sausage. Yep, it is as you fear. My Johnny's how I steer. I know it looks weird, but I'm only switching gears. And my motor oil is beer. The windshield wiper fluid is my tears. She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used my buttocks as a lamb. A Lamborghini, not a sheep, man. I'm a Ram, you're a Nissan Leaf. I drive around on my butt like a car. Picture Mario Kart, no cart. And the gas, that's fart. If I could stand up, then I found a place to park. Half chub, full throttle. Why would someone do this? God knows. I try to dodge a road with cobble. I just bruised my tuchus pothole. If I'm going, I'm in reverse. Grab the shaft and she put it in first. If I'm in the crash, I won't get hurt. The airbag is a pillow in my shirt. I don't have a car alarm, I just scream. I don't have tires, just jeans. I just got a wax, butt cheek. Cables on my nippies, jump me. You call yourself a car guy? I'm a freaking car guy. Okay, so that even wood grain, make a hard right. And I sound congested when I start like.
All right. We're back. And I forgot to check my camera, actually. Let me see. All right. I got it set pretty well here. Unfortunately, my hat, even though it's just the trim that's green, it like takes almost the whole eagle off. But I'm enjoying this background for another week. I'm enjoying it. We're going to have Rookie here shortly. He had to get some num-nums. I have done nothing but play Crusader Kings 3 way too much, restarting incessantly because I get so fucking frustrated. Like, I messed up here. But thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Keely, I got you. Finally got your clip. Let me say hi to you really quick. Bring in the beef, I see. Keely Chow, this clip is for you.
It's those goddamn Mongolian again! Stop! Stop right there, Mongolian! God damn it, stop! Stop breaking down my shitty wall, you stupid Mongolian!
Every time I see your name. Every time. But, yeah. A rare occurrence. Me and Ricky both went in time. I think he actually is more excited than me. To witness what could have been a travesty. And that is Captain America, Brave New World. Captain America 4, as I like to call it, Blackton America. A not surprising black lead February Black History Month release. Is anyone talking about Black History Month? I feel like all the wind's been knocked out of their sails. They've pushed too much as the last few years. So that rhetoric is just kind of dead, it seems. I don't know if y'all have been noticing it, but I feel like Juneteenth is going to be forgotten this year. I'm all for it. But I gotta say, I saw that clip they put out of a fight sequence with, I was like, oh my God, this movie's gonna suck. And surprisingly, I would say this is what we wanted with ISOM. This is not bad. A lot of problems, me and Ricky will get into whenever the fuck he quits eating. But we're talking a little bit about it after we both got out of the theater. Different states, of course, unfortunately. But yeah, I saw it with a friend, and I overall liked it. I'm leaning on a 7 out of 10. Maybe it deserves a 6 or maybe even a 5, but it was fine. I think Marvel is stuck trying to figure out what to do besides having like a character hit that people want to see, like Deadpool, Wolverine. Obviously, you want to see Avengers ensembles, but real Captain America's gone. Iron Man's dead. Thor, salvage him with the 5th movie. What was the other one? Doctor Strange made like $1 billion on the 2nd movie, but they really screwed that up. Spider-Man? He seems to be just kind of doing his own thing now. I don't know. They're kind of lost. But I'll tell you what, they're finally, aside from Deadpool Wolverine, they're finally just like, yeah, X-Men are coming in some way. I don't want to say too much and not have Rookie here. I don't know what the hell this case. Oh, there he is. Speak of the Rookie, and he shall appear.
I shall be here.
All right, it's cool. I was stalling a bit, talking around the movie, but let's get into our Captain America Brave New World discussion. First off, we got to look at who the director is, because I have no idea.
Neither do I.
It's Julius Onah, so yep, like I thought, black guy, born in Nigeria, home of Barack Obama. No, I think Obama's accused of being from Kenya, actually. I think.
What's the difference, really?
Central Africa, but you're talking about like two different, I'm pretty sure Kenya is like the other side of Africa. I'm pretty sure Nigeria is the west side, the like slave side of Africa. But he's a Nigerian. He's directed the films The Girl is in Trouble. Never heard of it. Cloverfield Paradox. That was a disappointment, but I don't know how much he was like hampered by the studio. Luce. And then Brave New World. So this guy's not really done much. He's got 5 total. The one that they didn't include is Bad Genius. That is written by him. It looks like it's a Thai film. It's an English language remake of a 2017 Thai film of the same name. So I'm assuming it's a karate movie. I have no idea, but yeah. So this guy doesn't really have much on his filmography. So now I'm going to look at the Captain America: Brave New World page. Pull up so you can follow along here in the chat with us. Maybe point out anything you might see. It's like, oh, hey, Angus, wait, hold on. But yeah, Ricky, out the gate, thoughts on the movie?
Not one of the worst. Not even in the top 10 of the worst or anything. Like, it's like, just to clarify, because the stigma around the MCU is that it's total dog shit, which it pretty much is for the most part these days. But this one's just like this one kind of reminds me of, like in a way like Thor 2, where there's things in it that are obviously not great, but things in it that are pretty good or done well too. So I'm kind of figuring it out as we're going to be talking about it. There's it's not woke at all. I don't know if people have said that it's woke, but I didn't really feel the wokeness with it. I feel like they could have easily done big time woke stuff, but really didn't, unless they count the Black Widow midget, basically, which would have been funnier.
Thank you. The fucking ugly Jew midget.
That would have been funnier if they cast an actual midget, like a little Peter Dinklage female, to be Black Widow.
So
that would have been funny.
That's like its own little aside. I'm trying to think of anyone famous or it's like been on TV I can think of. I feel like there's someone I'm missing, but you know how like dwarf close people, they sometimes they get like oblong. I guess oblong's the right word. They get abnormally long arms to their body, like orangutans.
Yeah.
And this bitch, this supposedly ex-Black Widow. Now, if you've seen the Black Widow movie, they had a bunch of hot chicks. They didn't really show much, but they had various hot chicks that were widows that were still performing. So I'm like, who the fuck in this like Epstein Island Me Too illusion that was the Black Widow movie with the leader? You think this guy's going to screw this freak? Are you kidding me?
No.
But yeah, it had this weird dwarf-esque freak. They mention she's like Israeli or from Israel, so that's why I said Israel. Ugly dwarf Jew. Like literally, that is stated in the movie.
She's not. I don't like her at all, and she's not great. But I wouldn't say that she's under the category of woke with the stuff. Could have done way worse with that if they wanted to. So
the only wokeness I'd say was like, somewhere in the middle of the film, we're finding out the real problems regarding Ross and who's manipulating things for this whole plot to be going on. They have trouble with like 4 guys, him and his sidekick, and then they get in a hallway, and then there's like 8 or 10 of them. And I want to say the Mexican and Blackton America took out 2, and she took out like 5 or 6. So I was like, yeah, I get Black Widows are like super duper, but come on, it's a fucking freak midget. Like, what are you?
Honestly, the way that scene was shot, I don't actually know. I thought there was like 6 guys. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Superior Nav, thanks for hopping in here, my friend. Yeah, we just saw Blackton America. I'm saying it more to like troll, but it's fine.
It's quicker so we know which one we're talking about. It's weird to say we saw Captain America 4, the Brave New World, the one that the Blackton America. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Good enough. Like when you say the Justice League,
or we'll call him
what one you
Anthony
mean.
Blackie.
That one's good. That one's good, but Black didn't roll off the tongue better. That's not a bad one. I'll pocket that one though. That's not bad.
You should do that for an intro for your channel for like, hey, I'm reviewing this in case you're wondering. Yes, this is the Black Captain America,
Stars
former
Anthony
Falcon, Blacked in America, or as I like to call him, Anthony Blackie.
I think it'd be more funny if I just like say it stars blank and Anthony Blackie, and just like as if it has a name. Like, just, yeah, it's his name.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting. All right, so it's directed by this, but from a screenplay by Rob Edwards and writing teams of Malcolm Spellman, Dalan, Musson, and Onah and Peter Glanz. So Peter Glanz. What a horrible name!
I was like, wait a second.
I wasn't making that up. Peter Glanz here, so y'all see. Peter Glanz.
Peter Glanz. Their parents were making a joke on him. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
So Civil War ended. The Captain America trilogy with Steve Rogers, and Wilson becomes the new Captain America and Falcon Winter Soldier. They were writing a new Captain America film in 2021. Mackie signed on in August. Onah joined in 2022, and so 3 years ago, this guy signed on for a year previously of a writing team. New World Order was the original name. It was announced later that month. Additional cast members joined. Let me see. So Nelson returned from the second MCU film, Incredible Hulk. Oh, right. Okay, that's Stearns. And Ford replaced William Hurt as Thaddeus Ross following Hurt's death. Ross becomes the president of the U.S. and the superpowered Red Hulk in the film. Filming took place. I'm trying to find like the pertinent, just like quick plot for y'all, but we're gonna like skim through this. Now, this looks pretty short, but there is so much to pick apart, pro, con, question mark.
It's also like a 4-act movie. So
Sam Wilson and Joaquin Torres. I've actually forgot his name. I just kept thinking Mexican the whole time.
I have to call him Lil Falcon because I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name, really.
So if you saw the Falcon Winter Soldier, it's his Mexican sidekick from his previous missions, like the start of the show.
I don't like him.
No, I hate him too.
No, his whole presence is like a giddy little boy who's like a lot of people gave like Tom Holland's Spider-Man a lot of shit, but I feel like that made sense for who he is and what he was
high
doing.
Schooler.
And he wasn't super annoying. He was just awkward. As toward this guy's like, I'm so excited. I'm here and I'm going to punch people. Yay, woo. It's like, I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate it. Don't like it. No.
Yeah. All right. So Mexican and Blacked in America successfully intercept an illegal sale of adamantium in Mexico. As a reward, Wilson introduces Torres to Isaiah Bradley. So that is a former experimented Captain America black guy from the Falcon Winter Soldier that I don't know his comics history, but he's a guy that they used and then they threw him in jail for like 30 years.
I'll give them credit for not saying that he's the OG Cap. I thought they were going to kind of say he's the original, but it's like, no. They just said the forgotten one, which is like, okay, they know this is after Steve. Okay. I guess.
Yeah. So I don't remember how I felt about him in the show, but I thought they did really well with this. Now, my guess is they're going for some sort of black incarceration narrative about the state oppressing the black man and also the Tuskegee experiments, which is a big injustice. But I feel like they also toned it down as well. Any chance to be like, yeah, we was kings and we were kings, but they oppress us. They don't give us the credit for building the white. None of that shit in this movie.
They boiled it down to he does not want to be in a hole ever again, and he has trouble trusting the government because of him being kept prisoner. That was pretty much what they kept it to. Which I'm glad because I didn't get as much of the racial vibe specifically. It wasn't just the white men are trying to kill me. Like it's just like no, the government in general imprisoned me, and I don't like that. And you're serving them, I don't like that. So
Yeah, well, they also really screwed up by wanting to ever lean into that in Hollywood, because they want to like pander to blacks, especially about the war on drugs, as an excuse to like entrap and incarcerate en masse the black community and debilitate them, destroy the family. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's like a black guy for our government historically, and you could say our society allowing it, or what going along with it, however you want to address it. But again, it's a rake that they step on, because this is a problem with you could also turn the camera, and it's like, yeah, it's also a problem with like the vaccines that you're trying to force us to take. And so it's like so it's funny how they kind of entrap themselves, or they actually never mind. A
little bit, yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about, Rookie, where the diversity problems at Disney, we've seen it ever since at least as far as I've noticed with Force Awakens, when they took over Star Wars. They made the bad guys POCs too, or diverse as much as the good guys. And it's like, no. The Empire's the Third Reich in space. They are sterile, they are white, they are male, and they oppress the world. Mon Mothma and Leia, feminine symbols of fertility and life, lead the coalition of biodiversity against the homogenous, sterile, white, faceless male regime. You don't put black people in it. You don't put any brown, you don't put women in the bad guy group when you make it such a clear dichotomy. Because then it becomes, hey, someone might actually like the bad guys. They might like being the bad guys.
Well, even then, if not, it's like you're killing a lot of black guys and women now, essentially.
Yeah, and so
Skywalker, the amount of female stormtroopers they kill, it's kind of funny. There's like,
yeah. So they get into the problem of having to maintain this race narrative, where it's like they'll have middlemen be various races or genders. But then it's always, they got to fall back on, well, it's really a white guy manipulating and oppressing, like Reva, she is a menace. But, well, Anakin's a white guy, and Palpatine's a white guy, and even the Inquisitor's a white guy. And then the brother Inquisitor, he's Asian, so he's basically a white guy. It's everyone else's problem that she is hurting people. That's how you fall into this problem. And so that's just like a funny aside I notice. Can I mention something? Says Derpy. Stop glazing over Marvel. What? I enjoyed it more than I thought it would be. But it's very average range. I thought the ending was left too much on the table, wanting more. Yeah. So the opening, You want to take us through the opening, Rookie? The opening in Mexico.
So pretty much opens up right away with Blacked in America. He's flying through, and they're doing a little mission, and they see a little church or a little building, and there's some hostages. There's a group called like the Serpents or something, and they're supposed to infiltrate. And there's a package in there that they're specifically trying to get. It's the package, and that's what they call it. We got to get that package. And they're like, all right, let's go look for some covert ways you can enter in and, get in and out just fine. He's like, nah, you new here, but I'm going to blast in right now. And he just jumps on shoots down from the sky onto the front lawn and starts having a shootout with people. And he's got his shield throwing it around, bouncing off their heads a bunch. And he's got his vibranium wings that shield him a whole bunch. He's got a nano helmet that he takes on and off all the time, which is kind of annoying. It's aesthetically, it's annoying to just, oh, you got a helmet. No, you don't got a helmet. And a little annoying with what he's trying to do. And takes out all these guys. And they're like, your backup's like 6 minutes away. And he's like, that's okay. I got this. And they're like, just get the package. There's hostages. Like he scans with this little Red Hawk buddy or Red Bird or whatever, little robot
Red
thing. Go Redbird. It's like scans the building and he's like, wait a second, there's hostages in there. He blazed in without ever checking the building to see what else is in there when you could have done that first. And then you got Gus Fring. What's the actor's name?
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, Carlo. He's there, and he's got these guys who speak in Spanish. He's like trying to get information. It was shot pretty well in there. It's framed pretty well. He's like, cuts them and then like wipes the blood off a little bit. He's just trying to kind of get there, and he's like, all right, we'll shoot each of them. Do it one by one. And it seemed like it was like, a tactic of, when you kill one, and then the second one, okay, how many are you going to start talking to? Or do you want to die too? Like, what are we doing here? So it's like, okay, pretty good. He's just a regular guy doing this, not a super dude, not a known guy as far as I can tell. I have no idea if he's been in the MCU before. I assume this is his first appearance, but I don't know. The way that they kind of give information here is very expletive, so I assume this is his first time. And they're like, oh, Captain America's here. He's like, oh shit, we gotta go. And then they tries to escape,
Shit,
and then
Popo.
as a Falcon beats the crap out of more of the guys. There's a hostage situation with the things, but then his little bird kills them or knocks them out, whatever. And then he has a confrontation in the living room, stops Gus. He's like, oh, you're coming with me, homeboy. And then he's like, yeah, right. And then this big dude attacks Falcon, and then he slithers away. And then there's a really lame fight with this guy.
Wait, before the fight, though, I will say it sets him up to be kind of cool from the get-go, because Falcon comes in all hot and ready.
He's cocky, way too.
Throws the fucking shield, and Giancarlo just like anticipates. He just kind of ducks his head to the side, like, whatever.
Yeah, I do like his reaction. He wasn't like, "Whoa, man, stop it." He was like, "What was that?" It was pretty good. He gives a good performance where he can, but there's some areas where he's like a clown, unfortunately. But that's later. But yeah, Cap was very into I'm gonna get you, but then this other dude just kind of comes out and fights him. Now this fight scene kind of sets a precedent for what you'd think Falcon's kind of strength level is, but it's very inconsistent the whole movie. He's like having to fight this guy one-on-one who I assume is just a normal dude also. I don't know. He's like, no, not many chances to kill Captain America or something. I don't even remember the dialogue, honestly. It was very generic. He knocks him down for real quick. You need a minute. And then
the clip is online. That clip of the fight is fucking awful.
It's just very dumb, very generic. And by this point in the MCU, you think they at least know how to do fight scenes, and it was just very lame. And their banter is lame.
You know what they fucked up too, Ricky? Because basically he's going in, and it's like the SEALs or Special Forces supposed to like get the package, but there's like a coordination of him and the team that's going in, and then he uses Red Wing. He's like, oh, they got hostages. Oh, Sidewinder's in there or whatever, and so he tries to take them all on.
Yeah, he just ignores it entirely.
The package, and so he diverts all the guys to worry about a smaller problem. He's like, I'll just wing it.
Yeah,
Falcon.
No, you're right. Good choice of words, honestly.
And it's funny because like the guys set up on each side in the hallway of this door while the other guys are getting the hostages out, and he blows open the door and then he just throws a shield in there, and it's like, you have hostages, it'd be better just shooting these people.
Yeah,
like,
honestly,
Falcon doesn't need to even be here.
That would be safer if you just had a regular SEAL team guy, just a regular guy, go in and shoot people. And they were going to do it a covert way without making a huge mess. He's like, I'm going to come in blasting. And he didn't even know there's hostages in there, but he could check if there's hostages in there.
It's funny you say that.
It's just really weird. And he's like, Falcon, as far as I know, is not a guns first blazing in the door. He's not like Johnny Storm or something. He's a follow orders kind of guy, I guess, that is loyal. I don't know. He's not really a break in the door guy.
It's funny you say it because if I didn't say it here, I said it to Rookie, but this film overall feels like in hindsight, what I would want from an ISOM book if it was competent. This feels competent enough. It's definitely loosey-goosey with the whole history of Marvel thus far, but that has been a Marvel overall problem. You know, they got those stupid ice cream infinity cones in fucking Thor world or whatever on like Earth Thor planet place.
Yeah.
New Asgard, they have infinity cones. It's just like, yeah, remember when we were like everyone died? Ice cream. Like,
yeah.
Again, how many people lost their partner and then they've spent 5 years in misery and mourning and then maybe fucking around and then actually making a new relationship, maybe getting pregnant, having a new family, and then 5 years later, Iron Man brought my ex-husband or my dead husband. I've been a widow and remarried. Now my husband's back. What's up with my? This is happening across the globe, and they're just like ice cream cones, Thanos.
Yeah.
So Marvel's had a real problem overall with continuity of tone, but I felt like Falcon feels like sometimes he's going in hot. I feel like Rippaverse people would really resonate because they say they like Ice on being a hothead, and I feel like this is a better portrayal of a guy who is being a hothead.
The only difference is he can fly.
He can fly. He did get hit by cars, but someone
hit by cars, not fall onto a car.
Yeah, he didn't quite fall on it. He did get hit.
He kicked Gus Fring into a car. He kicked people into cars.
Where'd that come from, Rookie? The blueprint. Ice on.
But no, with your point, like it makes me think of Winter Soldier, where like Cap and Widow are bantering with each other a bit throughout their mission on the boat in the beginning as they're trying to covertly save hostages on a ship. They're trying to take out guys sneakily. They have their team with them, by the way, too, so they can do this all together, dropping bodies, catching them so they don't make a whole bunch of noises and stuff.
With the ship scene?
Yeah, in the very beginning of Winter Soldier. And when he's like taking them out and stuff, he's not going goofy goo, pew, pew, pew. But like they'll do their action and then they might have a joke with each other, like once it's done. But during the tension scenes, they're not like quipping a bunch necessarily, which is a little more believable because there's like hostages that they're trying to save. So when in this one, when he's like, I'm going to jump in on the front lawn and I'm going to jump in the hallway and there's hostages here. It seems like he doesn't give a shit that they could get killed. Really, like I don't get that sense at all with him. He's like, I'm just gonna go in and they're fine. I thought it would have been way more interesting if Gus Fring just shot the hostages as soon as they said Cap's in the front yard, kill them then. Like, have this on his hands. Like,
that would be great actually.
Or maybe save one hostage still for Shield.
Yeah, you got to have one for later,
but kill them. And then it's like you went in when we said to go covert, and you're like, nah, fuck it, you knew. It was like that would have been better for me, and to have his character
that would have raised Gus's character too.
That would have raised his character and made Sam have to maybe not be a hothead, which is that was never his character from what I remember. He was not a hothead, so I don't get that. I don't know why they have him be like that.
Yeah,
I didn't see the Winter Soldier show, so I don't know if that's how he was in that show.
Yeah, I don't know if he got the wings in the show, but they are vibranium, and they make that a point at the fucking very start. He lands, and then people start shooting, and he's already absorbing fucking energy to do Black Panther shit with his wings. And then it becomes like my whole problem with Falcon with wings and of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then he's like, nah, I don't need like body armor. I don't need just a full suit. That would make more fucking sense.
It'd just be simpler.
Especially,
honestly.
You don't have power, so this would compensate.
Like even a Spider-Man suit, I don't know anything would do better than this.
It just really, I hate it so much.
Yeah, well, and again, the way that he jumps into battle makes it seem like he won't die, and he gets stabbed. He gets stabbed with knives and blades, and he really just kind of walks it off. And I don't think he shows any sign of, oh yeah, I got stabbed earlier. That hurt. I was bleeding. It hurt. No, he's like totally fine. If there was like, I got stabbed and, he's doing things and, he could have maybe, ran through a door, but he can't because he got an injury. Like, can you do it? That could be a funny joke even, like the little widow girl has to break a door down because he can't, or something, because he got stabbed because he's a human and not a super dude. Would have been one of those things that we would like about him. They remind you constantly throughout this, by the way, that he does not have the serum. which is.
I feel like I've seen some superhero or maybe just like an action movie where there's some scenario of like, Batman Begins. Alfred makes fun of him where he's like, what's the use of all those push-ups if you can't push off a bloody log?
Yes, but that's funny. But that's not them. That's not him going. You do realize that bullets, if they hit you, would kill you, correct? Like that's what these feel like every time they say this. And it's like I don't know. But
I don't get it because it's like, hey, let me fly in, but then I have a shield, but then I also shield myself with my wings. It's like, why does he even have the shield? It's like, and then Red Wing uses the shield. So it's like, why don't you just send in?
No, he should have had
Red
a Black
Wing.
Panther. If Wakanda likes him and thinks he's cool and all, and wants to give him anything, why not just give him a Wakanda Black Panther suit or something, a Falcon suit, whatever, a vibranium like the Black Panther. It's
because they want it to be recognizable as like, well, he's Falcon, that's Black Panther. I get it, but it's like, why would you blend them? Why would you give Spider-Man the
wings
iron
is
suit?
already dumb. Like I don't know, it's just already weird. But this actually was this leads into a different problem for me. We're almost done with this scene, but not yet. But throughout the whole movie, they're very explicit about a lot of things that are so dumb to me. Like Harrison Ford will have a line that's like, I think this was, I don't remember if this was at the beginning or after this or whatever. He's like, have you heard from Betty, my daughter? Like,
remember that shitty movie called Incredible Hulk?
Oh my God. Well, no, it's just like, it's ironic that Harrison Ford is saying these type of direct lines because it's like Snoke going, Kylo Ren, somebody was the ship, the Millennium Falcon, that is piloted by your father, Han Solo. Is like, shut up. We just say, have you heard from her or heard from Betty?
Since the film Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4.
You can imply the relationship with whoever this Betty chick is later. You don't need to,
I don't know my father.
Anyway, let's finish up the scene here. So Cap is he fights this one guy and it's really lame. But while he's doing that, while he's fighting this guy for like 3 minutes, Little Falcon, I'm gonna call him Little Falcon, goes in and he takes care of the two. There's only like 2 motorcycle guys that have this and super important
it was
package. 3 motorcycle guys that have this really important package as they flee. He takes them out. He's got little Falcon wings, a lower tech version, I guess, a standard military one. And he's like, oh boy, I killed him, bro. That was sweet. I got it, bro. And then Falcon's still fighting the guy while he did this. So I don't know how long this fight is in the thing. It takes him like 5 minutes to beat this one guy. He fights the Red Hulk later, by the way, but he's struggling with this guy for a long time, who's just a normal guy as well.
Wait. Sorry, real quick. Since you already mentioned that at the end, when he's trying to talk to Red Hulk, there was a moment where I'm just like, of course they're not because they have him on contract or whatever. They got plans with them. But there's a moment where I'm like, man, I wish they had a Hulk in The Boys. So then they'd have this kind of scene and then just crush him instantly.
Well, dude, the movie The Incredible Hulk that you hate had a scene like that where he's like,
Blonsky.
Give it your best shot. Kicks him into a tree and he's fucked up. That should have happened to Falcon. That would have been funny. Well, we can be friends. Nope.
I fucking I hate the Incredible Hulk movie so much. I'm a 03 Eric Bana Hulk fan.
There's still scenes in it that I think you would like, but that's fine.
Never going back. It's funny because I literally spilled out the movies from the box. I'd used the box for a shipment today. It's your box, so I had to spill all my movies out because I haven't placed them. And the one I was looking at on the floor closest to me is fucking Incredible Hulk. I'm like, oh my god, I can't get away from this dog shit.
Watch this movie with you and Angus.
I fucking hate that movie. It's worse than Captain Marvel to me. I haven't seen Kamala Khan, but she's fine in the Marvels movie.
Whatever.
I'd rather watch that.
Anyway, so that's basically the scene. So he finally beats up the guy, and then the rest of the team, the SEAL team, comes in once it's all over. And he's like, wow, can you save some for the rest of us? And then he's like, man, it was kind of crazy that they were all here and the buyer wasn't here. you know, like the greatest detective right here, man. Yep. Great.
No, I mean, it was worth pointing out. It's like, yeah,
I know.
weird.
I wish that like they had like a smarter people that would do it, not him specifically. I don't know. I wish there's just more they're doing in general with it.
It would have been funny actually if they
be suffering with consequences for there being dead hostages, but since there weren't any dead hostages, we don't get that. So
no, it'd be funny actually if like they cut back like that'd be funny as an end credit. If like some reveal of who was actually trying to buy, like there actually was a buyer and Stern had it set up for either option works for him. And so the buyer's like rolling in like a shitty beat up like bug or something, some just trash vehicle. And then he's like looking around like, what the hell happened here?
It's that guy from Winter Soldier that was like specimen to Steve Rogers in the Geek Squad or something.
I would love that, or wait.
Like, hey, I'm gonna get some hardware.
Like fucking didn't like the Hulk? Yeah, Hulk popped up in Avengers on like a shitty little bike, right? Something like that, where he like rolls in like
a little tiny moped or something.
But it's like, man, fuck, I missed it. Shit. And he's just or they actually figure out like he gets caught in traffic. He was held up 30 minutes, like LA traffic or something.
Right.
Crossing the border.
That'd be funny. But no, so that pretty much wraps up that scene. Is there anything you want to add to this whole beginning scene that we went over here?
No, but as a reward, Wilson introduces Taurus to Bradley, which is the old black Captain America, Korea guy.
That skips ahead quite a bit because the next part is Harrison Ford talking as president with his slogan together friends, we will be he's like we survived being snapped in half and blipped, we survived a giant celestial thing floating in the ocean, we survived I feel like his list should have been a lot longer honestly at this point, but it's like whatever.
Really quick sidetrack, just like I always go to movies like 20 minutes late past showtime, like whatever it says. So my showtime was 4:55. I got there at like 5:15 and got my popcorn and drink and candy. And then I walked in and I still had 10 minutes of ads.
Yeah, I've heard that they're trying to maybe make a law where theaters have to post when the movie actually begins as well, because this is ridiculous. Like sometimes we're like, man, like I plan to be places and I don't know what it's funny because there's so much ads I gotta watch before that.
It's funny. I'll send you the timestamp. There's this part from last night's stream of Fuentes. He was talking about someone's like something about like ads or something. What do you do ads, or what would you need? What would you need to like run ads in your promote stuff in your streams? He's like, I run away from like $1 million a year. Like I don't want. And he starts ranting for like 10 minutes about ads and how it's a certain type of people's like concoction to just rob us, to monetize our time in such a nefarious way.
In a way, I kind of agree. The time aspect, man, what a waste.
It's like, dude, 30 fucking minutes of ads before the movie. Like, yeah, go to movies late. Now, if it's like an indie film like Nosferatu, there's less ads. Marvel, any Disney shit, there's probably gonna be 25 minutes of ads. So you got plenty of cushion. Like there's very few ads I'm like happy I saw on the big screen. Like the Avatar trailer for Avatar 2, I'm like, oh sweet, I had no idea this was coming, and then I instantly knew what it was when I saw like the environment. I'm like, yes, we're back.
Yeah.
But then I saw a couple other movies. I'm like, oh my god, more. I already seen this.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube. I've seen all this.
My theater had like 5 people in it, by the way. What about yours?
I want to say like 20. And when I left, people were like, wow, pleasantly surprised. Wasn't that bad. Like, so people were audibly like, oh, I expected this to be crap, basically.
Right. I took an Uber there, and the Uber driver was like, oh, yeah, I heard about all the horrible stuff that Mackie said on the interview. he like, it's, I feel like he probably listens to podcasts talk about this stuff, because he mentioned, yeah, they've been woke for too long. And I was like, Okay.
You should have. You could have got a sub out of that.
I was gonna maybe probe it. Well, I said that I'm gonna be on a podcast after I watch the movie, but then he just went into a whole long conversation about how he hates the MCU and stuff, whatnot. And he was like, "There's probably gonna make Robert Downey Jr. a trans Doom." Okay, maybe, sure.
Wait, hold on. Let me catch up. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's one of the lowest ranking MCU movies. And he was saying, yeah, it was confirmed in the Falcon show. He got the wings then. Yeah, I figured, I just didn't know if like they showed them in the show or if it was just like, hey, we're giving this to you.
In the movie, they make it very explicit. You know, a while ago, since he helped out the Wakandans, they liked him, and then they gave him a vibranium things. And I heard that even the gift wrap was also vibranium. Just kidding, it was not. You know.
Becky, what do you mean more ST6 in media? How original? What does that mean?
More sticks? More steaks? Sticks? No, we should have 8 in there. I don't know.
Sisu trailer. I was going to watch a movie on spec. Sisu
is that John Wick style white guy, old guy, man.
Yeah, fuck
sort
that
of thing. I think. From what I remember, it's kind of like that. But
I think I heard people kind of hyping it, and I saw the trailer. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So Harrison Ford's president, and he's like, there's a giant celestial dude in the ocean, and we gotta unite with this treaty. We're gonna have a little dinner and meeting or something about it. And he wants Cap to be there, and he wants his sidekick, and then he could bring one extension. And he chooses to have that be Isaiah Bradley. And they introduce him, and it's like, yeah, not bad. I didn't see the Falcon show, so I'm not tainted with anything that was in there if it was shit. So it was all right. And then nothing really happens. There's not much to say with their scene. It's just, yeah, they introduce him. They show off that he is like a super soldier. Don't really. He voices that he doesn't like that Cap might be working for the president, but they make it very clear that it's unclear what even Captain Falcon's position is. Is he like a government? Is he part of the? When you say captain, does that even mean like in the military you're that rank of captain, or? But there's no Avengers, so you're not like an Avenger rank or like a hero thing. The president lets you talk to him really close, so you're not like a staff. I kind of wish they'd stop being so ambiguous with what people are to each other. And sometimes, some things can be clear. Would be nice. Some things more than others.
Basically, this is a summit that for some reason, well, I guess because he's a hero in this whole plan, it's like, hey, he recovered this special material that is the first time we've harvested adamantium from the celestial body. So I don't know.
They had a great line. He's like, it's even more unbreakable than vibranium. I hate it when things are like that. That doesn't make any sense. It's more unbreakable.
So, so that was what the package was that they had to recover from the site in Mexico. Right. And so this ties into Thaddeus Ross as president pitching this. It's his first 100 days of his campaign or of his presidency. So he's trying to solidify his legacy by making this legislation, this international treaty with mainly Japan, but also India and Paris.
Because all these countries, all these countries are trying to claim the celestial body as their own to get all the adamantium they want, and they said that it can, this material can revolutionize defense weaponry, weaponry in general, medicine, blah blah blah. And he's like, and they're not some selfish little stupid country like Wakanda. So everybody,
it makes the point like we're not isolationists like Wakanda, which is like, thank you. Finally, someone's saying some shit on those fucking hoe ass Wakandan roads.
So like, as much as there's things in this movie that annoy me, there are things where I'm like, I agree, nice one. How's it good?
That, black people.
I wish that they could point to the Wakandans and go, you suck. You suck. Stupid Wakandans and your stupid vibranium. You can keep it. We got this shit now. You got a special on your little island? Oh, we would never know because you don't let us in there, you piece of shit.
It's like, unlike Wakanda that allowed world wars and mass slavery of their brethren, we will not
unite everyone. We're trying to bring the world up. And in fact, we're gonna leave Wakanda out of it having any adamantium. They are not allowed to have it. That would be funny.
Yeah. So he's pitching this as like unveiling, I guess, in connection with this recovery, this global treaty plan with America at the forefront to unite around the celestial body harvesting of adamantium. And then out of nowhere, Isaiah fucking grabs a Secret Service weapon and starts firing at.
Hold on, we're skipping a little bit. Harrison Ford wants to talk to Falcon specifically
to make the new Avengers.
To be like, we want you to make the Avengers. He's like, what? And then
he's like, say what? For reals?
It's funny to me because I'm like, what do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna like call Brie Larson or something? Who's around? What, are you gonna have a little Scar from the She-Hulk show? You know, have him come around. Like,
forgot that was a thing.
What are you doing? Like, what I don't like is that, you know, I haven't seen a lot of the recent Marvel stuff. I don't. What was the last? I don't even remember the last Marvel thing I watched. I want to say No Way Home. What?
Deadpool.
Well, that's like Fox still. Even though I know it's MCU now, but that's not as in the line of the stuff. So.
Yeah, whatever. I
don't know. It's been a while though since I've seen like an MCU thing, really. So I don't know. But so when he's like assemble the Avengers, I'm like, who's around? Did Keira Knightley died of cancer or something?
Keira Knightley.
Sorry, fucking Natalie Portman. God damn it, got the name.
Well, she's in Valhalla, so she's just gonna come back as Super Lady Thor.
What, you know what I mean? They've got lesbian in Norse. I was gonna say,
Valkyrie.
No, yeah, Valkyrie in their place over there.
King Valkyrie.
Yeah, and they
woke got, like Katie did. Katie did.
Spider-Man probably exists in this world now, but I don't know if they care. I don't know.
Seems like he's just going to kind of peace out in New York, just kind of be low level again.
Is there Black Panther now, or fish people? Is that a thing still? Or
I didn't see that.
The Eternal people, what happened with them? So my point is, when they say you need to assemble Avengers, I don't know what that means. Like, you want to invite.
I assume it's going to tie into the Thunderbolts and rehabilitating that team.
That just still, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, they should have left that out of this movie because it had nothing to do with the movie anyway. It was literally just nothing. Nothing happens.
It's a breadcrumb for future. Remember, he said that in the other movie. Now
there's just no point to, and later on, he's like, forget it anyway. And so it's just, don't even have it in here. Just skip it. So anyway, as you said, Isaiah shoots the president as he's trying to give a uniting speech and stuff. Shoots at him, correct.
But it was not just him. It ends up being like 5 people, 6 people.
No, okay. Tell me, I hated the way they edited this whole scene because I was confused on who's bad, who's good.
I thought the midget was the bad person.
Same here. The way they framed a lot of shots, and then they have Falcon like attack a lot of people that are on his team. So I was seriously like, and the way they cut.
They showed an inside job.
So I was so confused on what was going on. I had no idea, just because visually I don't know who anybody is. It's not on anybody for more than a second, so I can't tell who's who and what's going on. Isaiah was the only recognizable one because his suit was different than everybody else's. He had like a more bright colored suit, and he's an older guy and kind of fat, so he's easy to point out compared to everyone. And then midget girl. But I couldn't tell anything, so I don't like that scene at all. It was just they should have done.
It was every fight scene was just a fucking ugly mess. It was either just chopped up, edited, or it was just so much CGI green screen slop.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
very ugly tone. It's disappointing because I feel like a Cap one you can really go down, bring it down a bit. You don't need to be as crazy. But whatever. Isaiah tries to run, but he's fat, so he has to stop, catch his breath, and then they catch him. I mean, is that what happens? He just kind of stops, right? Like nobody.
Well, it's like he's a super whatever, but he can still just get shot to death. So
Yeah, but I feel like he just stops when nobody's around him, and then he just surrenders, I guess.
Well, no, the cops are coming on the other side, so he's about to get encircled, so he just kind of is like, I don't know where to go.
Okay.
And he's old. And
okay.
also we find out it's been mind manipulation, so he doesn't remember the sequence of events to start with. He just
I like thinking of it as he's exhausted.
It seemed like he was exhausted too.
Hold on. Pulling a hammy, But,
yeah. So
he's like, stop it, man. What's happening? I don't know, bro. I ain't going back. I thought he was gonna kill himself.
Yeah, I thought he was going to suicide by cop,
like,
which would have been like shit.
I guess so. Again, I thought that would have been like some ballsy stakes for Marvel to do, but no, they don't. They just captured him. I'm like,
or I would see. Okay, even though it's like nice, we're like, nothing's woke. It feels artificial that it's not woke.
In a way, maybe
it's like the Rippaverse.
Kind of.
It's so sterile from any politics, actually, in the world or outside, that I wish it actually just had balls to be woke.
Yeah,
like Falcon was a really woke show trying to make you sympathize with the terrorists. And, Star Wars is on the side of the terrorists, actually, against the state of the Empire. But, like...
We were talking offline, and I was like, so Falcon has a friend that's like the president's assistant, and she is the most bland, generic lady ever, and she's a black lady. But like, I like it. I bet it would have been funny if they were going for humor. If she was like, you gotta move your ass, Mr. President. You gotta
move your ass, white boy.
You gotta move it. She was funny with the like sassy black chick, and and she's got all this sass. I like your point you added that if she was like that, and he's like, she's the only normal person around me. I like it.
She's the only one that doesn't fucking bow to me. She actually just holds her own. It's like, well, it'd be like Jerry in Parks and Rec, where everyone's like, fucking Jerry. He's always the butt of the joke. But then you see his family. He's got like the hottest like MILF Mormon wife and like Mormon pure Aryan white children, females. They're like angels. And then you see a glimpse of what his life's like, where they just all worship him and adore him, and it makes no sense. And so it's like, that's why he likes getting shit on at work.
Right. And it would have been kind of funny too if like she's like kind of intimidating to like some of the internationals. They're like, oh, she's a little, I don't want to, she's, kind of sets them back a bit because she's loud. What you looking at, little Asian boy? Just, I don't know. Anyway, like that, she would have been more entertaining or like recognizable, but she's just, Mr. President, there's a problem. Are you sure about that, Mr. President? Like, there's nothing that she does that or says that's interesting in the whole movie. So she's forgettable.
Yeah. The only like backbone she has is when Harrison Ford is on Air Force One in workout clothes, and he's on a workout bike. And then he's trying to play up like he's been really going out. And he's like, I'm done. And he's like, tell the doctor I did 5 miles. And she's like, you only did 3. And so he has to kind of like press her to like, just tell him I did the full circuit.
Yeah.
Because he's on his way to Japan. So after this, he's gone into his bunker, and Alice is really fucking up the deal with Japan, France, and Italy, or India, to do this treaty around the adamantium. And
New Delhi was the other country.
Well, yeah, is New Delhi its own? No, New Delhi is like a town in India.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Let me make sure. New Delhi, capital of India. There we go.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, he's dealing with them, and they're like, "You can't even protect yourself. How are we going to? Why were we getting this deal with you?" And so he's got them two at the table, but they're wanting Japan back in the mix, and so he's flying to Japan to try to secure them sticking to the deal. And then Japan's like, "Hey, you rigged all this. You hired the people to steal our shit to then look like the heroes, to steal the adamantium core sample or whatever." And so he's kind of blindsided by this. But you're thinking as an audience member, like, oh, he got busted, and they know it from their intel. And so you go back to Falcon and Mexican Falcon, and Mexican Falcon's a tech guy too. And so he's somehow tapped into the White House easily. Like it's one thing for Iron Man 2 when he does it at Congress.
He's like,
he
I'm
just
just gonna
taps
hijack
in.
your computers real quick. You know?
Yeah, it's like, well, he's a tech guy. He's making shit that no one else can make with his Iron Man suit and the arc reactor in his chest. So it's like that makes sense that he would know how to hack shit. But it's another thing where it's like
he's one of the only people that could just do that. One out of like 5 maybe that could do it. Yeah.
But then you got Mexican Falcon just at his computer's like, yeah, I hacked into the White House, whatever.
Don't worry,
Riri
Williams
CCTV.
Riri Williams probably do it faster. So you know.
Yeah, he's hacked into their CCTV, and so he's trying to like review the footage from inside the White House of the attack. And then he notices Isaiah got like flashed in the face with his phone. He's saying like, "Oh, my phone's acting weird," and so he's seeing it like other people. So it's like, oh, they've all been compromised. So it might have been some sort of tick, some sort of Winter Soldier kind of thing. Of like a sleeper cell initiative.
Well, but they don't jump to that conclusion right away. Ross actually, so as after Isaiah's arrested, Falcon's like, you know, we need to not have him arrested immediately, adamantly that he should not be arrested, like he needs to not be in jail. And he's like, bro, he shot at me. I'm the president. Like, what are you, retarded? Like, what do you think here? He's like, he's innocent and a patriot.
Well, it wasn't
like,
exactly that. It was like Falcon reasonably was like he was not in his right mind. Like, I don't know what's happened. We need to figure this out. And Ford's just kind of shutting him down any chance at that.
I feel like they both do. The movie does a dumb thing where they both don't just say the obvious. Like, we both, 2 people that were present when a super soldier, Bucky, was he was fine and got mind controlled and broke out of a thing that they were both in the building.
Oh yeah, it's in Germany.
They both witnessed this. They both have witnessed this in person and dealt with this personally. They both are aware of this happening. They've seen it happen. Both of them.
I was actually wondering when Winter Soldier stuff was going to like tie in with like the Bucky program.
Yeah, so this could have been one of those things, and
they didn't
that at all. So it's like, wait,
not even that. More recently, with new Disney shit, their multi-platform verse, they've also had a whole town get taken over by Scarlet Witch and mind controlled and broadcasting their own fake TV in mind control land, and they had the military surrounding the place. So you think that would also be on their mind too? Like, yeah, we had this whole town in like New Jersey get compromised by a super powered person.
Exactly. So you're bolstering my point more that like they have knowledge that mind control is a thing. Plus, there was Loki with the staff who was able to control people's brains as well. Like, you know, the first alien invasion on Earth that they had that they know of. Like,
and,
I don't know.
And Hulk by Scarlet Witch, like that's an international
Scarlet
crisis.
Witch alone is like you could argue as a thing. There's been at this point many things. I suppose if you watched like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they did any of that, there's some Hydra stuff that they do hypnotizing.
Spoiler:
shit
I've never watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
But they base it off of what you see in like Winter Soldier with how they control the Winter Soldier. They do similar things to that, to how they mind control people essentially. But anyway, point is, like, neither of them, like Ross and them, should have kind of already been thinking that that's a possibility. Like, you know, maybe there's some mind control, but what I'm saying is that it's not then, well, guess we'll just let Isaiah go, right, Falcon? No, he's going to stay here because the public saw he shot me. So even if he's innocent, we have to keep him here until we prove his innocence. That's just how this works. So,
but they instantly, like, this whole movie feels like it takes place in a week, and they're already like instantly like, he's probably going to get the death penalty.
Yeah.
It's like, has he even gone to a hearing?
No, you're right. You're right. That stuff is that's what kind of confused me though, because they do rapid fire stuff like that throughout this, where there's a line of dialogue that you might miss, and wait, huh? What? Why? With what? What are you talking about? Hold on, just huh? And then they just I don't know how much time's gone by. Things are moving really quick. Just decisions are made without like any questions asked, and I don't know. There's some things like that just kind of make it weird. But they do this to push Cap to go rogue because he's like, "You're off the case. Forget about the Avengers."
You really on one, Harrison Ford.
On one, and then so he's got to do this on his own, and then that's when he goes to try to covertly do this, and when he has his buddy hack into the stuff, and they figure out the phone things, and it's like I don't know why this was done.
They trace it to a black site in
and
Virginia.
The midget Black Widow chick does the same exact thing they're doing. So it's like, why?
Yeah, they put them at odds because the midget is Harrison Ford's security for some reason.
The only security. It's only main
she's like the security advisor or whatever, but it seems like she never actually
have a team. She doesn't seem to have.
She doesn't dictate anything to anyone.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't have a number 2, a 3, a team, anything. So I don't know.
So she's also noticing ironically, the Jew is noticing the footage of the phones, and so she goes to investigate. Now, Cap with his hookups or whatever, he gets 5 minutes to talk to Isaiah in jail when he's not supposed to, and Isaiah's like, "Don't save me," whatever. And so then later, Midget comes to see the shooters, and the guy escorting her to their holding cell shoots them.
You're skipping ahead a bit, actually. So hold on. It's a funnier thing though. This wasn't Falcon's hookups or things. He just asked a guy to let him in and go through, and then that guy also goes directly to her and reports that he's doing that. So she's watching him. She's like, I'm going to need the audio of their conversation. He's like, huh. And she's like, come to me if he returns. He's like, okay, like a little sneaky little spy or something. And then what you said happens later, where she's being escorted down there, and then she kills the other shooters that were there. Yeah,
he has an audio cue on his radio, some music. And so you're starting to understand there's multiple cues that have been programmed in people. And it's like all these military personnel or DOD personnel. So now you're thinking how many people have been programmed? This is potentially like a Winter Soldier. The whole fucking system is programmed like some Hydra shit, So that's kind of in your back of your head, and they never actually fall through. But they do make that, they make that a thing again later, but we'll get to that. But yeah, they trace the call to the black site, and they find this lab in this black site prison. And it was Stern, from the doctor, professor, whatever, from Incredible
Mr.
Hulk.
Blue. We can call him Mr. Blue for short if we want to, or the leader, whatever.
Oh, I was the whole time watching, I read, the first Peter David comics is dealing with this guy, but I can't remember his, villain name. It's the
leader.
So, he comes back. He is the villain. He's
supposed to be as strong as the Hulk is. He's smart, essentially, is the idea.
So he's obsessed with probabilities. And so he's been, courting all this.
We skipped over
we skipped the shooting.
The Gus Fring thing.
Yeah, we forgot. So, Sidewinder, Gus Fring.
It's kind of like a shotgun. It just boom, boom, boom. There's shit happening all the time.
It's written like J.J. Abrams' Star Wars. It's you don't have time to actually really simmer on anything because it's new info.
Yeah, all
it's distracting you. When Mexican Falcon's tracking this on his own at his whatever little base they got together.
Falcon base. Falcon cave. Not a bat cave, to be confused.
The Falcon nest.
Cave. No, that's Hawkeye's nest. He has a nest.
So while he's doing that, Cap's going somewhere. I don't know where he's going. Maybe it's after he's already interviewed.
Going to the bathroom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's driving this giant It's funny because Victor asked if he gets paid. It's I don't know, because he's got a giant fucking 2,500 GMC truck. It's souped out. So that's almost $100,000 right there. So I don't know
about not being paid from Stark for working for the Avengers, but it's
he couldn't get a bank loan.
You were though, because Stark funded it. What are you talking about?
It makes no sense. Yeah,
whatever.
But
anyway,
yeah, he's got a fucking $100,000 truck, and they filmed it from the side, so you're waiting for him to get like sideswiped, like some Winter Soldier kind of
you're
shit.
thinking of Winter Soldier is what I was thinking of as I was watching it.
Yeah, like like anytime you
expecting
see someone in like a tense action movie and they're in a car and they're filming from the side, you're waiting for them to get like hit from the front or hit from the side, or like
and it's all on the inside in the car with them. You're not like looking outside of it at all. You're on the
so I'm
inside.
always waiting for it to like close on like a lane perpendicular where a vehicle's going like boom, and it's all coordinated to hit Falcon, and it doesn't happen. And so I'm like, oh, and then right after he makes a turn, then his truck gets shot at by Sidewinder. I think it's his name.
Sidewinder.
Gus Fring.
Gus Fring's name is Sidewinder.
And so he starts like shooting at him, and then like, he blows a hole in the window, so then he throws a grenade. And he's on the phone or intercom, whatever, like, oh yeah, 77% chance he's dead, waiting for confirmation. And then he has this fucking gun / like punchy knife fight with Falcon. Gets multiple stabs on him that penetrate to some degree. One in the gut, around the liver.
The gut one looked like that would do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it was like the blade back end of a combat axe.
Yeah.
He gets hit twice. They're stuck in him. He's the one that pulls him out of himself. And he ends up like hiding in some little junkyard and ends up apprehending him. And it was annoying because at first it's like, oh, this guy seems pretty sinister. And he's like a one-man wrecking crew. But then he's like, oh, I'm going to kill the Falcon. I'm going to find you, the Falcon. And Captain America.
You'd think that this guy would just be precise and efficient. And then he's just like, when Falcon's hiding, he's like, actually, when I found my other buyer, he said that there was a thing that you was gonna do this and that, and I'm going to kill you because I could do it for free, but instead I get money. Isn't that cool? I get money to kill you instead of not money to kill you.
Talks way too much to be sinister.
Just like, God, come on. And I liked how when he was like downed at first, like as if he's defeated, he's like, he said there's like a 79% chance you try to talk me down, and pulls his gun out. Like that's more like a spy or like an assassin, like a covert. He's just a regular dude doing his thing, fighting against a superhero who's may not be super powered, but he's got enough shit with him to may as well be an experience with it. So this seemed like a good, like this guy might be a good foil to him or a good match. But then he gets his ass kicked, and then. But because he's talking while he's looking for the guy who's hiding, he's talking a whole bunch. So
giving away his position.
and then Falcon smokes the place. And then he keeps on talking. You getting desperate, huh? And then he gets kicked into a car. He gets ice-armed. And then he loses.
Because there's one thing Giancarlo Esposito can't do, and that is fly.
and then Falcon takes out the blades, which should have really hurt him, but didn't seem to affect him the rest of the movie in any way, shape, or form. And he's like, yeah, got him. And then, I don't know.
I think he literally mentions having worn Kevlar underneath, which I'm assuming
but you see blood.
I'm assuming it like slowed the damage. I'm just giving the film good faith that like, okay, that's an actual excuse.
It did look like he had something
fully
kind of
deadly
thick on, but they showed blood at the wound site, which is also weird. They usually don't show blood, but that's fine. I'm glad they should show more blood, if anything. But
Brad says, how much you want to bet that play really wanted to make Copperhead a black guy, but they didn't because it would be racist to make a black guy bet. I think he means Sidewinder, but
Copperhead. Okay, hold on. No, I know
black.
There's a in the Marvel's Avengers Assembled cartoon show. There's like a serpent gang of like a cobra, a copper guy, and whatever Copperhead thing. And yeah, this guy might be kind of like that. It was like a serpent society or some shit. But I didn't get that impression from this. Nothing about him said snake, so I don't really know unless he just gets away all the time. The naming was weird. Sidewinder makes more sense in a way. It's more generic, but it's not so specific where you're like, why is he called that? Like he's not the horseman that doesn't have any, horse, related things to him. But,
somehow it always comes back to the Rippaverse because it is the blueprint.
It's a reference. So that's why. But so that's then they go to the site to find the guy from the Incredible Hulk, Mr. B.
Yeah, and so he's he's actually there the whole time, but he's just letting them investigate. So they go there. They make a point to like, yeah, grab your gear. And so they rush off in his $100,000 truck or another Hummer. He's got a Hummer.
The second big truck.
He's got a Hummer this time, the new Hummer. And all he packed was his shield. He didn't bring anything else but his shield and Red Wing.
Yeah, the other guy, his partner was actually like, we should bring snacks and all these other things. He's like, why did I bring you along? It's like, well, what? Because he's like genuinely trying to, you're going on a trip. You're leaving for a trip this second, and he's like trying to be realistic.
They're over an hour away because at one point it's like, how far away are we? And it's like an hour. It's like, well, we got to keep going because they want to, because they end up, when they kill the other shooters besides the black guy at the prison, it like makes the news, or at least he finds out, and so he tells them like, no, that's a distraction. They want us to go back. They don't want us to go to this black site, and so they go. But all he brought was his red wing and the shield, and so he's in civilians investigating this military site. They sneak in, break in, find this lab, and then they're finding all this like good stuff that they don't quite know what it is, but it's got all these different shooters as posters.
They're not wearing gloves either while they're investigating this criminal site.
And then Stern pops up and starts monologuing to him.
But throughout the movie, he's been like, Harrison Ford makes a call, or like, I don't know, he's around, and all you see is like his mouth, but his face is in shadow, so you can't see
green
what
eyes.
he looks like. Yeah, you can't see what he looks like really, and they hint that, there's a Mr. Blue song and whatever. And if you watch the Incredible Hulk movie, Angus,
I've seen it. I don't remember shit because it was awful.
They do stupid emails in that, or like, I will admit, in the Incredible Hulk, when they're doing emailing back and forth, Mr. Green and Mr. Blue, there's like 5 minutes in the Incredible Hulk where there's emailing each other, and he's like,
Watch new comic movies and then go back and watch
like
Hulk 03 and realize how fucking awesome that movie is.
But
how
anyway,
it tried to balance comic presentation, paneling with the good story of like a fucking torn guy.
It's a good movie, yep. Nice and good. But yeah, so he's here. He's like, hello, gentlemen. I've been watching you. And there was a 89% chance you were going to turn back to Isaiah if I shot them. Just like, it's fucking night. Man, just telling, yep, yeah, okay, whatever, yep, okay, whatever. Expositioning stuff, and he's like, "Oh, if you, what is even the conversation here? What's their conversation?"
He's talking about probabilities and talking about how Ross kept him pinned up all this time when he promised him a pardon. So he's like, "Oh, I helped him make with all my probabilities. I helped him win the election, so I should have got a pardon, but he just kept me locked up, so I had to break out."
They made it sound. They say that he specifically helped them make technology and all this other shit, and I'm just kind of like,
what?
Like, what? Which was dumb. They should have just been the presidency. That would have been more. That would have made more sense.
Yeah, because at one point they show an old clip because they're doing this like highlight reel of Ross going from general to now president elect. And they show an old, allegedly old clip of film, and he's got a mustache. And he's wearing his like army general suit for the press, and he has like a freak out. And so they're kind of talking about how it's like crazy that he's the president now because he was a hothead, and he had a mustache as general because of course Thunderbolt Ross is a mustache, and so he makes a point of saying something like, "Well, he said if I wanted to be president, I had to lose the mustache." And he's talking about like dumb little sacrifices. And now
Mr. Blue's plan.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, so the leader actually did the probability of like, well, you're not going to win if you don't shave your mustache. Like that was one of his probabilities.
Only a genius could discover this as the solution. They don't care if you kill people, but shave your mustache and they'll vote for you. They don't like mustaches. Mustaches are not in right now. They're not the in thing. The moment,
not a military stash, no.
No, but anyway,
and it looked weird on Ford. Like it looks great on Sam Elliott. Looks fucking stupid on Harrison Ford.
Agreed, but it looked really out of place. But no. So the leader in the depictions I've seen him, and he's got like a cone head, like a long, big head, and in this he's just got like a goopily, like low budget kind of prosthetic of supposed to be his brain, but it's kind of like, I don't know. You look like
he looks like Green Yakub,
kind of like a weird zombie attempt, but you're not. So I don't know. It doesn't look like anything I think is like smart. I'd rather it have been a big goofy head. that would be funnier. And it, even if it's goofy, like you can have him act however he does and see how it goes. I don't know. Instead of I don't know, let's make him look uglier.
Yeah. So, and then we get to, they take out these 4 henchmen, guard military guys with like masks on their face. And then they like step out, and then there's like 8 more, but then the midget Black Widow comes in, and so the security midget, she used to be a Black Widow.
Yeah.
So they're layering that for you to think like she's a sleeper cell. She's like actually coordinating this, maybe part of the whole
I didn't think
ring.
about that at all, honestly. I was
That's
just
that's what I was thinking the whole time,
whatever.
especially when they framed her in the fight after the shooting, like she's one of the bad guys.
No. See, Angus, she's that, or she's a Skrull, or she's a Hydra agent, or she's. We can go down this whole list of what other hidden organizations or spies and things. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
So
anyway,
they end up teaming up, but then they get to the car, and the FBI is there to arrest him for illegally breaking into a military site. But then they get a cue from Mr. Blue, and so they turn to like start killing them.
This kind of annoyed me. Why did it work on them and not not Falcon? Like what?
He hasn't been in the programming. He hasn't been.
But these
stationed at the black
FBI
site.
guys just were.
They're probably former military. Like just run with it.
It just kind of seemed like it will work on some people and not others. Without it, they attempt to make an explanation, but I don't think it really follows through. Really.
Yeah. So then they get away, and I'm trying to think what's in between this and
One of the lines when he gets handcuffed, Little Falcon's like, "Does this kind of thing always happen when we try to do good?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Of course, the white man system got to keep me down.
Yeah, get used. They said get used to it or something.
Yeah. So then once they get away, they go to the military guy, the spec ops guy from the first mission. That he's like, yeah, it's weird the bio wasn't here. That guy. They go back to him. He's got his own site, and they're holding Giancarlo Esposito, the Sidewinder guy. They're holding him, and then I was like, wait, how do we know these guys ain't compromised? So then the Falcon, Kid Falcon, Mexican Falcon, he like somehow just taps in his computer instantly, and then has like the music cue and plays it loud. And then everyone's like, what the fuck is that?
Which is also really dumb because there's like armed personnel there that like if they were activated could probably just kill you, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's as dumb as Brian Solari plugging in an unknown USB into the turtle helicarrier of the Rippaverse.
Yeah.
But it works out conveniently, and so then they interview Sidewinder to make a deal. And so this is where he gets silly because it's like he's like, "Oh, you're coming to me because you have no other option," and he's like, "I want immunity." He's like, "Not happening." He's like, "All right, well, I'll take reduced sentence and a side of my choice."
No, it's like, why would Cap have any authority on anything like that?
Right? Yeah, he's rogue right now. So
well, not even before that. Like, what position is he to do that?
Well, I mean, if he's going to be the face of the new Avengers, then he's got
no, but he's not yet. That's not enacted.
Well, no, but this is already in talks, so it's like, it's not crazy.
But he has no authority yet, though. Like
he was on a military mission,
with
so
the Sokovia Accords, you can't. No, it's like they made it before.
But he's already like a registered.
He hasn't signed the papers.
Sure, but he's already a registered super person. So it like see that's where the problem comes in of like
because in She-Hulk they got rid of the Accords, so that doesn't matter.
Oh, they got rid of them.
So
okay.
My point is he's just a random, like when he said he was shocked that Ross asked him to help get the adamantium because he's not an agent of the government. Like specifically, he's not. So
okay.
This is why I'm like, what
right, but this would be like an American sanctioning. So this would be a governmental sanctioning of them because Ross talks about like, well, yeah, I pushed the Sokovia Accords, but the Avengers saved the world from the blip, so we should
Yeah, but that's
go about
not,
this different than we have
but
before.
my point is that's not in play yet at all.
No,
Ross,
but no, it's in
alone
place. He's talking about it. He's thinking about it. He's wanting Cap to sign up because he's already got like good press.
But I feel like that doesn't give him the power to decide what to do with this criminal, especially as he's rogue as well.
Well, I mean, what other option does Sidewinder got?
I'm just saying,
because otherwise you're just going to throw him in a hole. So it's like at least
my
bargain.
point is Sidewinder would go, you think I'm stupid enough to think you have any power right now, retard? Like,
maybe
you don't have any power. What are you talking about? So,
but regardless, they get whatever intel, so they find out more about Stearns and how he supposedly made all this help and helped Ross. And so then you find out, oh shit, there's like shit going off in the Celestial Island in the Indian Ocean. And they're sending an aircraft carrier to counter the Japanese. So there's possibly a war going to kick off, which is what Stearns wants to happen to ruin Ross's image. And so they get in their Falcon gear and fly all the way to Japan, or the Indian Ocean from the East Coast.
You know, across the street, pretty much. You know, it's across the street from where they are.
They just conveniently have enough fuel in their little wings to do that. It seemed like the wings were like, from the way they introduced it in Captain America: Winter Soldier, it seemed like the wings were like a prototype, hard to identify personnel carrier, basically, of like, hey, we got you in a big, carrier plane, and then you're like an airdrop, basically.
They were
small range missions.
They were a less detectable thing, essentially. That were like a drone, but a human that could kind of
they can quick insertion like airdrops, like not aerosol. That's from Choppers. I'm trying to think, not airborne either. Exactly.
It's fine. Yeah.
Halo jumps. That's what I was thinking of. Halo jumps, like high altitude jumps.
But they don't go there by themselves. They go there with the chick, and I swear they go with somebody else too. But they bring the chick too. So are they flying all the way there with her, holding her?
Yeah, I don't know actually. Yeah, because the redhead midget's there too, right?
Yeah, she's with them.
Somehow she got there just as quick. I don't remember seeing her transport, so somehow she also got to the aircraft carrier really fucking quick.
I don't know. She gets over there,
and two Ross of the pilots.
Ross is like, "Get off my plane!" When they arrive on the boat, you know.
I'm surprised they didn't do some goofy shit like a nod to Air Force One. That would have been great.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
But yeah, they got planes patrolling their area, this hot area, and then two of them go rogue and start shooting at the Japanese.
They're very easy to identify for multiple reasons, because on their helmets they each have a thing that says whiskey and jackal. Plus, they say whiskey and jackal, and you see through Falcon's helmet that the one is whiskey and one is jackal. In case you don't know.
Yeah, so they're both trying to stop these rogue American planes who have already started firing on the Japanese. And the Japanese are returning fire, engaging, they're dogfighting. And somehow Kid Falcon and Blackton America start engaging to, I don't know the right word, to take down the planes in any way they can.
They're like, Japan's got to stop with their planes. It's pretty much what he said.
So they're trying to de-escalate, and so they're trying to figure out how to take them out.
How do you just do that? Okay.
Because Stern, in between the Stern went to a random admiral's house to get his phone, so I guess he would have the access to somehow call
I thought this would have been
directly
better
the pilots.
I thought this would have been better if I thought he was getting to his daughter. I thought he found Betty. I thought like a lot of this was shenanigans that he found Betty, who they mentioned was in hiding. They don't know where she was.
She's estranged from her dad this whole time.
Yeah, but she's off grid essentially. So that would have been interesting though if the leader found her, because he has seen her in the Hulk movie and stuff. He knows who she is, and if he somehow is a super smart guy, found her, and this being his plan B or something for Ross, getting Ross all angry and shit. If his plan were to fail, that would have come off as more competent to me. And made more sense for the final scene and stuff, but we can get to that later.
Yeah,
Basically,
basically,
it's some random admiral's house, and you know that because there was an American flag on
Oh
the
no, he
house.
says Admiral. That's why you knew that. It's like, hey, Admiral, can I
would have
use your
guessed
phone?
that because there's an American flag on there. Honestly, just the way they present the stuff, I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, that's a soldier guy. That's there. And I guess did he kill his wife too, or somebody else?
Yeah, you hear a shot and then the woman screaming, then you have another shot and then her voice is gone. So it's like, nice.
It's kind of disappointing though that thing's like kind of glazed over. It's like, you killed a woman? Oh, nice Marvel. But there's like, nah, shut up. We didn't.
Why didn't you show us? Well, I mean, I'm only assuming it's a woman, but I don't know the gender of the female voice.
Transgender admiral's house, you know. but
yeah, he kills both of them and gets access to his phone, from what we gather, to call directly the pilots to cue them to.
Oh, wait, no, this is also, there's so many things that happen. This is before or after he goes to the base where the guy had him look into the pills.
Oh, right. Yeah, he finds pills at the Falcon early at that black site in the lab. He found these pills, so he gave it to his military friend that's holding Giancarlo Esposito. So then he hands it off camera somewhere for a guy to research it, and he's like, he needs at least 24 hours. So you have this idea. So we have at least one marker of time passing.
Yes.
And so we assume the next day he's gotten the call while Falcon's over in Japan, or after the Japan sequence.
We've seen moments where Ford like slammed a desk and it was a really strong punch. Like, are you a super bro?
Yeah,
or something.
And no one makes a point of like, holy fuck, you cracked a granite coffee table.
Normal. That's just normal. See, this is a benefit of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm sorry, Angus. I know you fucking hate me for this, but they tried to have a new director of S.H.I.E.L.D. there to try to remake the presence of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they're kind of seen as a, you know, this group that got all infiltrated and shit. But they have him take some of this serum that they were making that kind of slowly kills you, but it like makes you super strong. And so he like saved people from a building or something that was burning. He's like, you know, yes, I'm one of these Inhumans. He was trying to like go with the Inhumans thing that was going on. I am an Inhuman. I am the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I am a good person. I'm not one of these bad ones. They're trying to really put him in the good light with this stuff, but he wasn't actually an Inhuman. He was taking serum stuff, you know, trying to do it. But you know, I don't know. But people reacted to him is what I'm kind of saying. Whereas for this, they're like, oh, whatever, it's just help him to his room or something. Just get him a new coffee that he broke after he destroyed the table with his fists. This 89-year-old man.
But yeah, basically it's this wacky dogfight in Falcon suits against evading the Japs and fighting their own guys.
But it is just kind of, there's not much to say about it. It's like the Japs are shooting at them, and then they like the Falcons shoot the missiles before they hit most of the planes, or most of the boats.
One of the missiles hits a Japanese boat, and it just is never a problem.
Yeah, this is part of the tone that I really don't like in this, Angus. They never emphasize a death. They never emphasize a death, really. Like if somebody got killed.
Or like, holy shit, even though this de-escalated or we find out it's all this manipulation of a third party, we still could be going to war with Japan, an industrialized country that we helped build up after we bombed the fuck out of
They should have been like, we will not, you killed 4 men on that thing. We will not forget this. Like,
well, they make a point earlier in the movie, because when Ford goes to Japan to talk directly to the Japanese, I'm assuming prime minister, whoever is in the government he's dealing with for foreign affairs, they're like, oh, America's just so used to taking what they want. And it feels like there's a obvious like World War II sentiment of the Japanese and like the atomic bomb and basically the occupation for decades that they've had there. And so us actually having a naval and air conflict in the Indian Ocean is just never a problem. The men that died on the ship, on whatever, like it was like a destroyer got hit.
No casualties, I'm sure.
No casualties.
They had a direct hit on the ship.
no, like, hey, we got to get even. No,
The
like,
American
growing
ship got
Japanese
hit-
sentiment.
One of the American ships, I think, got hit once too, and there's no mention of a casualty or seeing anybody on fire or something.
No, they blew. No, the American ships didn't get hit. They were close.
But I feel like there
and-
should have been people injured, is what I'm saying. Would have at least been something like,
Well,
you know,
Kid
you saved
Falcon.
us.
Kid Falcon
They
gets
got
hurt.
they got Vadered, you know, but more people, you know, more soldiers or citizens, whatever. Like I'm saying, this conflict should have had more casualties. Is my point.
Wait, Samuel Stearns is supposed to be Copperhead. He's the leader. Copperhead's Luke Cage villain.
Yeah, there's. I don't know if he saw the movie, so that he might be getting confused.
No. That's Brad. He saw it with me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know what. Yeah.
But yeah, so they have this conflict. Mexican Falcon gets hurt, and
They stop all these missiles, and then there's like one last missile that one of the jets fires at him, and he blows it up, but he's a little too close to the blast and gets blasted into the water. He's like, "I'm gonna save you, my bro." And then the naval guys are like, "You gotta go do with the other stuff. We got this." And then he's like, "Okay, okay." And
yeah, and we get once Falcon goes to the hospital to watch him getting
Wait, well, hold on.
surgery.
So you're skipping around again. So the Ross almost turns. He has like the guy calls Ross and is trying to get him to turn into the Hulk, to the Red Hulk, on this thing. He's like, you could rip the enemy's boat apart with bare hands.
I was actually waiting for that. I was like, oh, this would be pretty cool.
This would be interesting because they're in the like this is. I thought it was they're kind of arcing back to, yeah, you want to put me in a submarine contained metal thing. Great idea, like great.
Oh, I didn't think about
like
Avengers,
the
yeah, where he's like stuck
It's
in
like
the helicarrier.
having the Hulk in this. You guys are. This is not where anybody wants to be. No. Compressurized.
And he's like
metal
crushing
container.
some pipes, and then the black lady assistant comes up, and she just like never notices.
But see, if she was sassy black lady, she'd be like, "Son, what you doing with that pipe? That's crazy." That would have been funny. That's crazy. You want some? You must be on one. What you doing?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else happens. The military guy they handed the money off.
The leader gets angry that this doesn't happen. Cap is like, Japan has called off their fleet and they're going away. And then Ross is like, oh, thank goodness. Doesn't let his anger out. And then the guy's like, no, I'm mad. You foiled my plan. Wah. The leader like cries for a sec, essentially.
Yeah.
He's like, which is like,
yeah, then we go to the hospital. Falcon's watching his buddy get surgery, and then Winter Soldier pops up. He's apparently running for Congress somewhere. I'm assuming New York, like Brooklyn or Queens. And he gives him like a little positive talk of Falcon. Again, is like, I shouldn't have gotten the shield. I shouldn't have been. I don't have the serum.
Steve made a mistake.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have given me that shield. Blah, 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 blah. You have the serum, he has the serum, and I can't help anybody. I suck. And then he's like,
and then Winter Soldier's like, oh, well, Steve gave the people something to believe in, but you give people something to aspire to. And it's like, what?
I was like,
that's the same thing.
When? But it's also like, when? With what? Who was like, wow, Black Captain America, I want to be just like you. You're cool. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like, does he save anybody in the movie? Like any like citizen? Like,
well, I mean, he helped save Japanese and American sailors.
No. I mean, like, but like the way
saved
that
countless possible deaths in a conflict.
The way Bucky says it, he says, "You are something people aspire to." To me, that implies like,
because you black.
I
Without saying it, that felt like the sentiment. Again, there was at least 2 writing teams on the screenplay that we got, so I feel like this movie was chopped up a lot. It's totally all over the place. Sometimes it feels like, oh, they're actually kind of going for more like Winter. I'm not a Winter Soldier fanboy. I don't laud that movie, but it definitely is like, it definitely stands out as a unique film. It has like a really good, solid, consistent tone.
It's a very good turning Steve's ideologies on his head type of thing. too.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
It's
man,
like you've been a puppet of the state this whole
gotta
time, and
change.
you've actually helped enable
helped Hydra, this thing you know is evil. Oh, okay.
From my point of view, the Hydra is evil.
Yes. But no, so I don't know. So the little conversation with him is fine, I guess, but I don't like it really. Because it's just basically a whole thing of like, you're good without the serum. I have to tell you that you are a good man, and blah blah. I don't know. It's just like, okay, and that's all he showed up to do was just to give him a little pep talk, and then he's like, now I got to fly somewhere else, and then the little chick's
I go
like,
to a fundraising.
Myself a hot piece of Bucky ass right here. That'd be cool. It's just like, okay,
yeah,
he's 110
orangutan arms.
It's just like whatever. I don't know. It was just. It wasn't bad. It's just pointless to me. It didn't really serve anything. I don't think it helped anything at all. The one thing I kind of hate too in this is that they phrase it like he could just take the serum and he'd be fine. The implication I got was that the serum can affect people differently, and it's not consistent, and it is risky, and you can end up, like Steve Rogers, maybe, or you can end up like Red Skull, or you can end up like other, like, I don't know, just, maybe so you get super strength, but you get some other negative trait that follows you, especially if you're not as virtuous or something as
I'm
Steve
pretty
Rogers.
sure the way they wrote Wolverine over the years is that because he's like Weapon X, he's Weapon 10, that he's part of like the weapon program. So he's like the 10th attempt in the sequence. If I'm not mistaken, that's like.
But that's not in the MCU.
Wolverine ties, well, comics wise.
Well, yeah, but
given now that they're now introducing Adamantium, if they don't make all the X-Men some sort of multiverse appearance, obviously if they're gonna have Hugh Jackman, he's gonna be multiverse Wolverine. But I think they're gonna layer that, we're like Wolverine in our main MCU is a new creation because of the adamantium experimentation, or he's someone that Ross was tied to, or Stryker.
Sure, but I guess my whole thing is, how many super soldiers are there up to this point right now in the MCU? Have there been? There's been a lot, like a lot. And
was Crossbones, was he enhanced, or was he just had?
He was not enhanced. He was a normal soldier who was really skilled, kind of like a Black Widow or Hawkeye sort of thing, and then he had like a big old suit with some attachments, not a super suit, but some stuff that he can withstand punches from super people and punch them pretty good. So
yeah,
there's that. But there's my point is, it was implied to be very special, and like only there's like there shouldn't be so many of them. But it's just, well, our random thing made a super person, and our thing made a super person, and we also made another one. And but it seemed like they couldn't repeat it, and then like they made it imply in the MCU that the Hulk became a thing because they tried to make another Steve Rogers with Gamma shit, or Gamma stuff got wrong with it, mixed with it, and that's what happened. And so it's like just I don't know. It just it's just annoying to me. So this is like constant conversation in there, but there's anybody could just be a super person at this point. Like, why not? Having super soldiers was what Hitler kind of wanted. That's what Red Skull wanted, and it seems like America can make a lot of super soldiers. I don't know what.
Yeah,
what's
I don't really
have
comment pro or con on that specific topic. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, basically they defuse the Japanese stuff. Stearns ends up finding the contact from the first mission that Falcon gave the drugs to see what it was that Ross is taking every day. Because they show him having like this tick where he gets upset, so he's always taking like this pill, these little tiny pills. So I thought it was going to be nitroglycerin tablets, but it's apparently from Stearns, and we find it's like he's been dosing him with gamma over time since his heart, whatever that Stearns.
He was going to die apparently, and these pills save him.
Yeah, and so he's actually been dosing him slowly for years and increasing it. So he's been hulkifying him against his knowledge, and so unbeknownst to this is key that he kills the guy because the guy with the medicine that tested it called him, and Stearns happens to know exactly where to be and kills him. And so this delays Falcon learning about
And he
the
said,
Red Hulk potential.
This is more dialogue. He's like, I cannot have you call Cap. I know. I'm sure you're probably a nice guy, but I've got to kill you. And he's like, who are you? And he's like, isn't it obvious? I'm the hero. What? Just really lame dialogue.
Yeah, they really should have spent more time with him, showing like a younger version of himself, getting like tortured, whatever. Do like some sort of Winter Soldier like montage sequence of like this black site torture, and then understand his perception. That's really missing from this.
Constant false promises. We're gonna let you go. Oh, we're gonna get you ice cream. Psych, psych. It's like
we got you yogurt.
The diet ice cream.
Even that would be like, oh, they always hype me up for ice cream. I just wanted this one little nicety in life, and they always undercut that with a lower grade.
It'd be a redemption to the infinity cones bullshit. But
or they could make that a thing where it's like they're mocking him with like, oh man, these infinity cones are awesome. What one? Like, hey, psych.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just have him like a tortured monkey in a lab, and show a sequence of that so we get his motivation.
What's worse is that they keep on telling us why he's justified in this. You keep him, man. He has all the reason in the world to do this. He was kept as a prisoner for all these years, and it just felt like an Islam scene. Just like, just kind of like, back then, just so you know, we was friends, and then we wasn't friends, and then this is what happened. And it's like, oh my God, stop.
Yeah. So basically, that happens, and then later he finds Falcon outside of Walter Reed, I'm assuming, which is I've been there. It's a military hospital.
Yep.
That's where Mexican Falcon has been in surgery and recovery, and I don't actually know why. I guess he's just in his free time keeps going back there to check on him. And Stearns just knows he's there, so he actually like turns himself in. I don't know why.
Well, and this is while Ross is giving a speech, another attempt at uniting the treaty, or they agreed to the treaty. So
yeah, it's like, we're going to sign the treaty. It's happening.
And,
so
then everybody's like, why'd you attack Japan then, huh? He's like, shut up.
Yeah, and then right then, once Stearns turns himself in, it like instantly makes the news. So all the press people are all looking at their phone during this presidential press conference outside. You're like, hey, what's up with this Stearns guy, Mr. President? So he starts getting fucking agitated. And Stearns actually tapped in somehow, even though he's already been arrested now, somehow has it set up to tap into the PA system at this speech. And has all these like triggers and recordings of Ross and himself. And this triggers him to become the Red Hulk finally.
Which, I'm sorry, this was dumb to me. This triggering. Yeah. I thought it would have been better if he had found Betty, and or Betty came here. If it was either the leader found Betty and brought her here and was like, hi, I've got her, and he's, and then he's like, oh, you bitch, I'm gonna save her, or something. Or if she was there to see him, like, I'm here to see you, Dad, and then leader, gets her.
No one kicks my daughter off my plane but me.
Exactly. Seriously, something like that, where he's playing a role here. And, hey, remember me, Toots? Oh, God, you've gotten uglier.
Oh, no, do something like Batman Forever with the coin toss drop of, you save your girl or your sidekick?
Right.
And so do some scenario like that where it's like, come on, show me. I know it's in you. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, whatever, and drops Betty. So then he's like,
it's something like that. So then he has to Hulk out to do something. And it's like, okay, then she's playing some type of a role in this. And that's a more reasonable trigger to his anger than just, oh, you're gaslighting me in front of everybody. Oh, I hate you. I don't know. It just felt dumb. They're like, we just got to get you out of here. He's like, no, I gotta answer. I don't know. It
seemed
dumb.
Yeah.
And
so
he turns into the Hulk. He's like, Red Hulk.
What I instantly thought of, what Brad thought when we were in the movies after we were talking, it's like, so the president turns into a Hulk, and they're surprised, like, I thought they were only green. Someone says that in the press.
I hate that line.
Which is like, whatever, but the president now is a Hulk in his own
Staff
Secret Service just
gets
gets ready and starts shooting their 9mm. Now, first of all, you're shooting the president, the guy you're paid to die for. Secondly,
you know he's a Hulk now.
Secondly, this is what, 2012. So this is like almost 15 years since the Avengers movie. When we were introduced, the world was introduced to the Hulk as a part of a team fighting a alien invasion and winning.
Yeah.
And so, and also he was part of stopping a second alien invasion and undoing the blip. He actually snapped his finger directly. He goes out in public and eats like a bowl full of eggs at
He's
diners.
Popular. People post him
People
on
want
social
pictures
media.
with him.
They post
So
it on
people
social
know what the
media.
fuck the Hulk is. And so they know what his power level is to some degree. And so that's also retarded if you're in the military or the DOD and you're dealing with super people. You've helped coordinate the raft as part of the DOD to apprehend super people.
Yeah.
And yet they're like, oh, let me just empty my 9mm at a Hulk because that'll
Just
obviously
so dumb.
it'll obviously work out. Also, it's the president.
Also,
and I have
if
no
they kill
qualms
him, they
shooting
kill
the president.
And, like this was my, thank you. I was seriously. I was like, why?
Like
are
they
we-
should. What I thought was going to happen when he turns to the Hulk is like I thought there was going to be something like the nightmare sequence in BVS, where it's like the fear of Batman is Superman is like this fascist god that the military serves under.
Uh-huh.
I thought they were going to do something like that, where it's like, oh shit, like if this is like Orange Man, look, Orange Man's got the military and the
Ladies and
DOD.
gentlemen, there will be no more questions.
There'll be no more votes, anything.
The women are no longer allowed to vote.
Like that. There's little shades of, obviously there was a sentiment to try to make him like Orange Man bad, but his whole political career in this movie is trying to cement a legacy of peace and going against an isolationist. He literally points out Wakanda and how they've hoarded their material from the world and the potential it would have to help people. They've hoarded it. He makes that's part of the sentiment behind his treaty initiative with the global community to equitably
He doesn't
share
want another Wakanda, essentially.
to
He
equitably
wants it-
share access to vibranium.
Yeah.
And so to like make that the main plot of his political career as president, but then try to make it like Orange Man, but it's a weird tone to go
They
for.
said like he's got a tendency to be, he's holding in all his rage. It's like, I don't know, man. I didn't really get that sense anyway, but like, no, so I agree. So the reaction, I thought all the reactions from everybody was awful. Like, I feel like the press underreacted. Like, I thought they were green. Dude. Like, it just run away. The staff should honestly be like, Mr. President, like, or just like, what do we nobody shoot him. He's a Hulk right now. Bullets, they eat them for breakfast. Don't do anything.
Also, you're gonna make him mad.
Remember the footage we showed you guys earlier of Harlem being destroyed by two Hulks that missiles?
Even before Avengers. Thank you. Actually, you just added my point with the stupid Incredible Hulk movie. Harlem was wrecked because of two hulking figures.
The military could not do anything. The Abomination, when they shot a missile at him, he ate I ate the missile like it was nothing. Like, what are you gonna do? My pistol will hurt you. No. But also, it's the president. If you kill him, nice job, sir. What? You just killed the president.
Now I'm president. No. Like, what do you think is going to happen if you shoot him? Actually, if it works,
like, so I hated that. Then and all the military, none of them were like, "Are you sure we should be doing this? That's the president." Nobody said that. They're just like, "Shoot him. He's a monster."
Because he's Orange Man. It's Trump.
When
it's
he
Trump. We
rolled-
got to shoot him.
It's dumber to me. It's when he roared. They're like, "Well, that just means he's an evil monster, so we need to shoot him." He didn't do anything yet. He didn't do anything yet but roar. And he was looking around,
scary,
like he's a little conscious. Maybe you legit could have kind of settled him down. Maybe not to turn back, but like Red Hulk's known to be a little more conscious than the Hulk. Like it is the person just raging.
Well, it's weird too because he like doesn't
second
just
identity.
he doesn't just rip his clothes; they like burn off of him. So it's like
Well, yeah,
they
Red Hulk
never
has
they never
fire
expand
powers.
they never expand on. They never make a point
Fire
to like
ability.
accentuate.
They're probably gonna do the fire powers later as like a fun. Oh, he's got
Yeah.
fire
So
powers.
okay. So basically, it's just a stupid chase sequence of Falcon
They
trying to
destroy
mitigate
after they
damage,
destroy half the White House because the stupid people shoot missiles at the White House.
and then they send helicopter drones, which I didn't know was a thing, but they send drone helicopters with like those like
those were drone helicopters.
yeah. They said like, oh, we're sending in drones.
Oh, dude, this is a Dragon Ball Z sort of like dub from like another country where there's like
Miniguns. That's what I was trying to think of. Miniguns.
That's actually really funny. In a Dragon Ball thing, there's these like helicopter press that are coming to film a fight, and then one of the villains just shoots and kills them. And like, oh my god, you killed those people! But then in a different dub, they're like, they took out the cargo robot. Like, as if it didn't have people in it. I thought these were full of pilots and people, and that he killed them outright. Like he killed.
Well, no,
them.
because he said like drone, and I kind of half heard, but then he speared it with a flag, and then I saw the next one coming. It's like, oh, there's no people, and it's a drone.
I thought my head was that he just killed.
He speared it right in the
people.
cockpit, and there's no people.
Man, see, pisses me off with this movie. There's so many times where they could kill people, and they don't. And if you killed them, that would escalate the drama and would make it more interesting.
Especially because Falcon is a Air Force guy. He's a military man, so that would resonate.
More layers to it as well. It
just like brothers in arms.
But then, it's drones. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know it's like the damage is
did
some
he kill
retard
anyone?
the damage is some retard in Vegas. It's like my
They
feed's out.
blew up half the White House building. Was nobody killed?
Yeah,
Nobody,
no staffers,
like,
no
this is not an
secretaries.
issue. In fact, at the very end, they were like, "And things are pretty normal now." Like they kind of say that like quickly. It's like, what?
Yeah, they say something about normalcy. And it's like this is totally
You
like
are wrong. This is perfect for Game of Thrones and House of Dragon. This is a scramble for power right now, and order and understanding. There's so much that would be happening.
who's his vice president?
Are you kidding me? Were they killed in the White House when you guys?
They never
shot
say
it?
who his vice president is. We have no idea who anyone in the government is.
We don't know anything about anything in this at all. No, and it's just anyway. God, it's stupid.
Like it'd
And
be a
then-
perfect time to show a black woman in charge to have a Kamala Harris, but well, she lost, so they're like, well, that's not going to land. So
so Falcon gets thrown around into this like pink park or something.
yeah, the cherry
Pink petaled
blossoms.
park, and then he's like, "Oh shit, taking a serum, huh?" And then Falcon, or, Winter Soldier was stupid for saying I could do this, and then Hulk's like, "Arg," and he's like, turn good, huh? He's like, nah, and attacks him. And
It's just a fucking ugly
just a-
mess. This looks like a
lame
reshoot.
fight.
It looks like it's mostly on green screen. Also, it's weird because you got Red Hulk looks fucking savage as fuck, like the best looking Hulk ever
he looks
thus
good.
far.
It looks
And
cool,
then
but-
once he like calms him down by mentioning like, oh, remember the cherry blossom? So he's like thinking of Betty because
Oh.
this whole thing he wants to walk in the park with Betty like when she was a kid, and so
Betty is meant to calm down Hulks.
Yeah.
That's her. She's the key for that. Not Black in America to be like, hey, bro, chill.
And so he says that, and then Red Hulk like gets a pedal, and then he calms down, and then he morphs back into Harrison Ford without a shirt, and it's just like this does not go together. This like 45-year-old looking Red Hulk versus 80-something-year-old old man. Like Harrison Ford is in good shape as an old guy, but it's still like, yeah, he's fucking old and crippled now. Like,
yeah.
They make it. They have like a wide shot away from him, but like you see him without his shirt, and you see like the weird shape that an old man has trying to be in a Marvel movie.
Yes.
And it's just like no.
So even before that though, so while they fight, there's a few times where Falcon like spears him with his vibranium wings, and it seems at one point he's like really injured. Like Ross Hulk.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
gets him good in the
like,
gut.
Oh, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like I feel like the Hulk could take that, and yeah, it might hurt him for a few seconds, but he's kind of back in it afterward, and he's like ready to go. Like they kind of the stuff that he can tank is really big, and then you have this tiny little nick from I don't know.
Red Wing lasered his
back. It makes Hulk seem not that powerful, really, at all. So, I don't know.
Red Wing lasered him multiple times effectively, and Falcon slashed his back multiple times. Then he finally got like a stab. Before he was like shooting little blades, like wing blades that were piercing, which is like, I guess that was the indicator. Like, oh, what if I just do all of them to stab him? It's like, okay, it was an ugly mess. It had no impact, had no weight.
Hate all you want, but the Blonsky fight when he's just like a soldier was way better to me. And shot better.
Also, so on the White House, before Red Hulk spears a drone chopper with the flagpole, at first he rips it off, then he swings at a couple guys somehow up on the roof already with Falcon. And
somehow they got on the roof.
Falcon stops it, not with his shield, not with his wings.
Right, with his
He's
hands.
actually flying with his wings out, and he catches the flagpole, and he's like repulsing back with his wing blasters. So it's just him holding, because someone was talking about, the vibranium shield deflects all pressure and weight or whatever, power, whatever hits dissipates for the wearer, for the holder of the shield. It's like, okay, sure, but he's not using his shield. He's got vibranium wings extended out, not shielding himself, and he's flying with them to hold again to save the guys behind him. Which would be like, if it was Spider-Man, it's like, okay, Spider-Man's enhanced, Captain America's enhanced, maybe he could last for a second.
Think about it like this, though. He swings, and he stops it with his
normal body.
He would be broken even if he's got the thrusters. Your human hands and arms,
the thrusters would fly through his body into the pole.
You would be squished. I'm sorry, you would be squished. So there's believability like that just makes it like what it felt. This is why it felt like a fourth act. Like they finished the movie and then they're like, we need to have this huge Red Hulk scene or nobody will see it. And it's just like, what? Nobody needed this really at all. But,
so then they put him in the hospital, and then we find out he stepped down for his crimes. I'm assuming because of Stern, even though he wasn't committing crimes as a president. And so he volunteered to put himself in the raft.
No, so I thought they put him down because of the destruction that he did as the Red Hulk.
I was actually surprised because it's like, well, he had no it all boils down to his crimes before he was president. So he's already president. All this is criminality as general with this black site and Stern.
My opinion was he killed like 50 people in this battle. And so he's got
to that could be off camera. They never state it. They make it seem like, he just destroyed the White House for a while, but nothing else.
So in my brain registered it though, as he killed the people in the choppers. He definitely killed people with the rubble and the buildings. If people weren't in the buildings, people around were. If he's in jail, it's because of all the murders that maybe they don't kill him, they don't execute him because he was a president and mind controlled. Essentially, he did this against his will, so he's not going to just be killed. He's going to do time. But
the general stories.
I thought it had nothing to do with his past.
I figured he has an insanity plea, basically, just like Isaiah.
Yeah,
and so
wasn't me. It wasn't my fault.
I mean, it'd be one thing if he just stepped down from president because he's a compromised person now with the highest authority on the planet, but. It's really just rooted in the criminality with Stern before he was president.
But then they also do his accord, his treaty, the Japan Ross or something, whatever treaty for the
And, Falcon tells them about this, and he's like, everything, nothing works if we don't try to see the good in people, which feels like a post-Trump rewrite.
Right.
Well, you actually won, so hey, we can be cool, right? It's like they lost, so it's like, hey, we kind of got stuff wrong about the vaccine. It's like I couldn't see my mother when she died. This is stories people have because of the restrictions. So it's like, no, we're not cool. Fuck you.
Right.
But they lost, so now they want to be like mini me. We're like peace. Peace.
Exactly. and then Betty Ross shows up, or an AI version of her. They don't really.
I think it's actually her.
They show her through the cage though, which made me think.
I was thinking it's a stand-in, but she actually talks. So I think it actually is Liv Tyler back in the MCU. Maybe they'll make her a Red Hulk because she has her own Red
Hulk
be a stories.
Purple Hulk because they need more colors like the Power
No,
Rangers.
she has a Red Hulk storyline in a recent run with. I'm not sure about the
but
past,
everything's got to be like Power Rangers now, multicolored. So,
Yeah, I mean that is the brilliance of the Turtles with the different bandana colors. Is it makes it.
Yeah.
I remember I was just randomly. I'm not even a Turtles guy, but I know it. So I was in the Target one time. Someone was like, "Which one's which?" And I was just like, yeah, blue is Leonardo."
Yeah. But the scene was kind of pointless. He was like, "I'm going to need a rain check on that walk." She's like, "We can talk." He's like, "Okay." It's like, all right, whatever. Like,
I don't
know.
I liked Harrison Ford. Felt way too high a caliber an actor for this movie. For where it all went. He has really good scenes of like
as well
conflicting scenarios, to say the least, trying to juggle presidential duties, his past, this longing for his daughter to reestablish that relationship, and this monster inside him that he doesn't even really know about with the gamma pills. So he had a lot to juggle, and I think he did really well, exceedingly so for a poorly conceived movie. I did like it, but I think this really is like people will look back at it like, what is this? Like, what this doesn't match Falcon Winter Soldier, like the way they're building this, and it'd be like, oh well, yeah, Trump won, so you see like all these reshoots, obviously, in this like chopping up of the plot. I think the election. I think politics affected how they presented this plot.
I feel like regardless, they were going to do a bunch of reshoots anyway. It seems to be what most Marvel projects do. They at least get reshot quite a few times.
There's always some like last minute reshoots, adjusting of a storyline or execution, but it sounds like this movie was basically shot twice because this is a 4 or 5 year project.
Right. Now, so like, there's still a little bit more that happens though. So after after the visit to the raft, or before the visit to the raft, I actually don't know.
He goes see Mexican Falcon.
He goes and sees little Falcon, and little Falcon's like, "Yeah, man, that is, what's up?" And then he's like, "Yeah, being all this pressure on me is tough, and it's tough being me, That
was actually a good scene. I thought Mackie actually
it was okay, but
had some good emotion there. But then they undercut it. They undercut it with the like, silly.
He acted well in it, but I don't know. I felt like maybe there could have been more to it. I felt mixed on Sam this whole time, on Sam Wilson, the character. He felt like there's some glimpses of him and his charisma, but then it's just like, who is this guy? Like, especially his hothead attitude with everything. I don't get why that's him in this.
I really okay, so this was my biggest takeaway with this movie is because they're hinting at like he's going to be like he's new Captain America, and he's possibly going to be the head of the new Avengers, and they kind of already undercut this with showing the Avengers Tower getting rebuilt or refurbished in the Thunderbolts trailer. So obviously they're building back to a new Avengers roster. I really think this movie should have had Red Hulk as a Easter egg that like you maybe start having him like Sam is doing a more grounded storyline like most of the film is for like his progression, and then it's building into this global conflict that's heading up with Japan and USA, and so we're kind of getting to like normal conflicts, not superhero conflicts, and you got this guy who's in league with superheroes, possibly restarting the Avengers. He's basically doing like a Batman plot. And then inadvertently with this sleeper cell assassination attempt, he uncovers the leader, and this leads into Thunderbolt Ross. And then you get the reveal of him at the White House and maybe some destruction, maybe Falcon trying to intervene at first. And he's like, I am way out of my depth. And that's like cut to black into movie. This leads into like an Avengers plot.
I'm going to need to assemble some help.
Yeah, or it's like, I don't know, fucking Spider-Man swings in, and it's like, oh, we're getting a team up you know, like, and like they need to ground Captain America. They need to do the Batman 2022, whenever that movie came out. They need to do a grounded, dirty, fucking like what looks like no effects in the movie type of film, and have film be like this guy's, you know, had past experience with the serum Captain America. He's inherited this. He's been this political face for America now, mingling with politicians and the president, trying to restart with the Sokovia Accords being in recent mind.
Best friends with the Skrull.
And and then you start getting super people, and you start that with this Red Hulk problem.
That would have been neat if Rhodey was in this as like, you know, man, I was fucking out for how long? I missed all that stuff.
Are you talking about real Rhodey or Skull Rhodey? Like
real Rhodey?
Is he alive? Like, where is he?
Well, he apparently a Skrull Rhodey got killed, I think, and and then real Rhodey got released, and he was like captive the whole time, since Civil War. And so it's like, hey, Falcon, yeah, based on the Nick Fury show.
Wouldn't they notice that when they were doing surgery on him after he crashed in Civil War? Like, even though he got the legs from Iron Man,
Angus,
they would have had to have repaired him before that.
You think they make sense? They make sense?
Backy, I saw this earlier. He says, "Man, I hope Peacemaker season 2 is good." Angus, I watched 30 minutes of the first season. Fuck that show. I can't. The intro's trash. I don't get why anyone pretended that's a good show, why they'd want to watch it. The only reason Peacemaker was interesting was because he was like a counter foil to Bloodsport. Or Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Bloodsport is Bloodshot.
Bloodshot?
It's Deadshot and Bloodsport.
Fuck.
But I always catch myself because Bloodsport is a Van Damme movie.
Okay.
Let me double check. Let me search. Blood.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I swear.
Bloodsport.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's the karate competition movie. But yeah, I think they just don't know what to do. They had something so great with, and they're it's not even that they're coasting on the Marvel name necessarily. It's that like they've started on accident with something brilliant and great and monumental, and now nothing's meshing. It's IP versus people that really cared. Even Kevin Feige, like, he can only manage so much and be involved so much. He's got to oversee everything. He's overseeing comic division too, I think. So I think he's got too much to juggle. I think you need a reboot, just like in comics. You need a solid reboot or restart, just a fresh start, a rebirth, whatever you want to call it. Start over. Now you got the whole Marvel roster available besides some Hulk. I don't know what the deal with the Universal characters is. But are y'all going to see it? Are you interested, given our in-depth spoiler discussion? I don't have much more to add. I actually don't plan to.
I'm back.
Good. Okay. I'm going to call it a night, Ricky.
Okay.
Sorry, we'll talk about Rippaverse. Let me see. I think I work overnight next week. Yeah, I work overnight next week, and then I'll be back to days the week after. So no Thursday stream. I'll try to figure out a day to stream before then. Maybe Ricky will be available too. But thank you for being here or replay. Appreciate it. Leave some comments, some likes, share it out. Shout out, chat, and talk to you when I do. Oh man, I almost left the studio.